Yeah, this week was wild, dude.
A to Z wild. Like crazy wild. Anyways, in my life, I had the Canada Gap audit. First time ever being audited by Canada Gap.
That's exciting.
Passed that by 1.75%. C's get degrees though, right?
Very good.
And then number 2, we had a big meeting with the City Hall.
That was fun.
Adiak meeting with like a bunch of other businesses. Adiak. It was a crazy meeting, super successful. Another win.
No, that's a really good win.
And then today we had some housing issues for the foreign workers, and that was crazy too, man.
I heard about that.
Crazy. And we have problems with our wine being licensed and ready to sell grapevine anyways because of what's going on. And that's another issue that we've had. So we had like a crazy week.
Yeah.
But I think we should start from the top.
What's the top?
Canada Gap.
Sure.
What do you think?
Explain about the 1.75%.
So literally you have to have 85% to pass this Canada Gap audit, and what that means is that your food is literally biosecure, food safe for it to be sold nationally and internationally. And so currently we do quite a bit of wholesale locally in our local market. Not a lot, I would say, but we're encroaching and people are kind of getting scared of us, I would say. Not to my own word. But our plan is to obviously sell to more companies and more businesses. And regardless if it's being exported out of the country, local businesses are being required by government bodies to have any of their food being sold traceable, so know what farm it came from, what day it was picked, what area of that farm it was picked on, it being produced in food safe and biosecure. I think a few of the terms obviously that I'm leaving out. Area or farmers. So like for example, so if the food has, they come and check if the food has good washroom hygiene, if they have portable toilets on the farm, if they have packaging stored well, if they have bait stations set up by their packaging, bait stations meaning for mice, if they keep a service record or a visitor log of who goes into their packaging house, what kind of water they're applying on their farms, because obviously the water comes from wells, but you don't know if that water has E. coli or coliform inside of it, because these things are important. So that's essentially, literally, what I did for the last 3 months to prepare for the audit, and it came down to those 3.5 hours where that lady was here. Her name was leave that out of the question, and she was awesome. She spoke Spanish, so she was really really capable of her job, because obviously we have foreign workers. She spoke to them specifically, and that was really good, and I learned a lot from her. And she's done it for a lot of different farms locally here and in California, and she's seen situations where there's 400 farm workers, where they're small as us, where there's only 12 or 8 or 9 or 10, you know. So it's really interesting to hear her perspective on things. But she said that there's about half of all the farms in BC or in our area have Canada Gap, 60% maybe. And so I think she was saying about 15,000 farms altogether within this region that are registered, and about half of those have Canada Gap. I don't know how those stack up. I feel like there's way more than that many farms, especially if
they have Canada Gap.
Yeah, or altogether.
So there's 60.
No, 15,000. 60%.
60%.
Yeah.
Of all the farmers.
Yeah, but I feel like it's way more.
And BC only.
Yeah, and BC only. So that was Canada Gap, and it was crazy because obviously you don't want to fail it, and once you fail it, you have to, obviously reapply. It costs lots of money. I spent a lot of day planning. I think because the Canada Gap audit was Tuesday, Sunday, Monday was all Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I literally did nothing besides that. And along with that, I was managing all the guys, taking care of the wholesale for the strawberries, making sure farm markets are running good, and just making sure that the planting, because we just planted sunflowers. So it's crazy.
Very good.
Here, did you do anything good this week?
I did lots of good. I'll
Okay,
talk about today because I remember today.
Go ahead.
So Laurent was here. He came here at 11, left about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Spent about 8 hours here. We started off talking to Dhruv. He's one of the employees that works here. He's the development manager, that's his title.
Yeah.
He's working on some stuff. We spent some time talking about, because Dhruv is looking into private labeling wine for businesses.
Yeah.
In the local area here, and also bigger businesses that want to do private labeling. He set up his first meetings yesterday. He's really excited about that. He kind of gets excited about that stuff. He's been doing a lot of boring stuff lately, but he got really excited about that. He set up those meetings. He made a pamphlet, so he had Laurent look at the pamphlet, so that was good. Laurent looked at like, cause we won double gold. Like one of our dessert wines, our blackberry dessert won double gold, and he was super psyched about that. That's like our 22nd medal, and that's our.
Laurent was or what?
Laurent was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I get like a gold medal, he's like, wow.
Yeah.
He gets blown away, cause like not a lot of wineries get those gold medals, so it's cool.
Sure.
So we've got 9 gold medals.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, it's beside the point. So he's like, we should make an advertisement about the blackberry dessert wine because it won a gold medal. Not a lot of wineries get gold medals.
So Laurent said that?
Laurent said that. He quickly made a sketch of like what the advertisement should look like. He's like, I was at home and I thought about this and I drew it. So he drew it. Just, he likes to input his things as much as he can.
Of course.
And then we talked, Gerlin came up here, then we talked about the wine club briefly. We pulled up like the biggest estate winery in BC.
Yeah.
Which is Chaberton.
Yeah.
They have a sign up thing for the wine club. Basically what it is it's like your contact information plus your credit card information plus like the details of the wine club, and they sign up for it. And the perks of the wine club are like you get 15% off wine purchases, you get percentages off things in the winery, you get invited to special events, you get other like perks like with different businesses.
Uh-huh.
And like a wine club, that's like one of the biggest revenue streams for a business, for a winery, and we don't have one set up. So we talked a lot about that with Dhruv, myself, and Gerlin, and Laurent. So we spent some time talking about that. We have a good idea what to do. We're going to make that form.
Yeah, but what's the plan?
We're making that form.
What's the plan with the wine club? Like, what's the objective, and like what's you guys' goal here?
Oh, the plan is to get as many people signed up and offer them value and give us economics and the same thing. Basically, the thing about the wine club, there's multiple ways you can do it. Most of the wine clubs that we looked at are free. Like, signing up for them are free. But you get their credit card information because they're committed for 1 year. In that 1 year, you have to purchase, like, there's different plans. Like, some wineries have 2 plans, some wineries have 3 plans, some wineries have 1 plan. With Chaberton, which is, like, the biggest winery in BC, they have a plan where you get 1 case of wine in November and 1 case of wine in April. Vice versa, right?
Okay.
So, and then to sign up for that, it's free, but the case of wine will cost anywhere between $190 to $300, and they set what's in the case. Like, you don't get to pick the wines in the case. They set it up. You get 3 options. You get like red, or you get white, or like you get like a mix, right? And then the customer has to do it for the first year. If they decide not to do it, they lose the other perks. Like, they lose the percentage off on the wine. They lose all the other perks, right? And they're automatically taken out.
Feels like you're taking a lot, not giving a lot.
What do you mean?
Like, whenever it comes down to business, I feel like what you should be doing is providing way more value than you're actually taking.
Oh, we're giving them free. They're getting free for another wine club, I said. Okay, for another one. This one called Elephant Island. They're like a direct competitor. They're a fruit winery. One of the biggest fruit wineries in BC and probably Alberta. Because Dhruv is in Alberta and he saw their wine at a liquor store. So that was cool. Anyways, what they do is they have 2 tiers. The first tier, you get like invites. This. The second tier, you get free tickets. You get free wine tasting dinners, things like that. You know?
Okay,
and
yeah,
then
go on.
you also get the wine. You get 6 bottles of wine 4 times a year. It'd be like February, June, August, and November, or whatever.
Okay.
You know?
You get free wine?
No, they pay for it.
Yeah.
You get the wine in return. You can't forget that that's value.
No, of course, and you're getting it at a discount. No, I totally understand.
Like, you're getting 50% off the wine, plus you're getting events to the farm. That's basically, for the most part, that in the gist of it, that's pretty much the benefits of a wine club. Is to be part of a community, to get wine whenever you want it on like a specific time of year. Like in November, you're getting wine for Christmas season.
Yeah.
April, you're getting wine for like the summertime.
Yeah.
Right? And you basically build a community. So like when you come to these events, you can kind of hang out with people like, oh, you're on the wine club, things like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
What would it cost over a year?
For Chabertons, it would cost $600. Anywhere between $380 and $600, because they only have the one thing, right? For Elephant Island, they had two options. One was $150.
Yeah.
Twice a year, so it's
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah.
Other one was twice a year, $300 to $600. And then I saw another one. They're called Northern Lights. They are $110 twice a year, or $110 four times a year. Those are the two things they have.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's a wine club. A lot of people, like, I just had a person come in today, and they bought 3 bottles of wine because they were traveling to Alberta, and somebody in Alberta liked our wine. So that person, if they were part of the wine club, they got free shipping.
Who else do you know that's a part of a wine club? Remember that survey that I did about that 600 people hit? Like,
yeah.
Have you looked at that recently?
What do you mean?
Because that survey was all about wine.
Yeah.
And have you looked at that recently at all?
No, I haven't looked at it recently.
I think that will give you some good insight. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I understand the value. You're providing the 50% off, and you get events. You get access to events, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody else does. So, obviously, you have to put those into play. Like, for example, if 100 people show up, right?
Yeah.
Now you have to host an event for 100 people, right?
Yeah.
I would guess, in essence, I would guess, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, you have to make that event awesome for people to actually come to it.
For sure.
Or it could be a super easy event. I don't know what the extent of events you guys are thinking, right?
Yeah.
But that's just my understanding of it. And, like, obviously at those events you want to sell more wine or release wine or have a wine releasing party or have maybe like a grape crushing party that people can Instagram, right?
Sure.
And then those people will then talk about your wine more because they're coming to the event, and that totally makes sense from my perspective.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess that's what I'm trying to say is that you just have to try it and see what happens.
100%.
And then that will give you a good understanding of where you're at and where you need to adjust the price at.
100%.
So
Our biggest competitive advantage is that Man Farm Estate Winery is part of Man Farms, and Man Farm is such a reputable brand. They do things like goat yoga, and they do the haunted gourmets. Right?
Sure.
Like, for a wine club, what we're thinking of offering is like free tickets to these events.
Yeah.
If you're part of these wine clubs, that's if you're part of like the highest tier, and you're committed for those dollars. You understand?
Sure.
And they get invited to these events. They might be able to bring a friend, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So things like that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That's
we talked.
pretty good.
That was today.
Now, how do you want to roll it out?
Well, Dhruv is working.
In regards
on,
to the execution, what's he been working on?
Dhruv is working on getting that form together, right? And then we're gonna.
How's he gonna do it?
It's just an easy form to put together.
Like on like Excel or Word or what?
It'd just be like Word or whatever.
Yeah. Then what?
And then we can get it printed. Before we get it printed, we need to have obviously the benefits nailed down. Because we're still.
That's the wrong way to do the form, but I can talk about that. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, a lot of the examples online, they had the ability to fill up the forms online.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's fair. But the other perspective is that you're coming in the tasting room, people are there, you can sell them the wine club right there.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
Definitely.
That's what you print it.
Don't we already have, first off, don't we already have people sign up for a wine club?
No, we don't have a wine
club.
club.
We do.
We don't have a wine club.
When we used to have the marketing manager 2 years ago, I don't want to mention her name, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She created a wine club form and a wine club sign up sheet.
Yeah.
We have those emails somewhere.
Sure, we can get those emails.
Do we not?
I have never seen them.
We do. 100% we do.
Okay.
Say if there's 40 people there, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's close to 200 or 150. I'm pretty sure it's 150. Right?
I have a good 30-40 people that'll show up 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they're already interested, you can get those people signed up into it right away.
Yeah.
And if those people are signed up into it right away,
yeah,
that's people's credit card information you're already getting.
Yeah.
And you're providing value for. But I obviously, before we start like the back end in regards to how the form's set up, I can talk a bit about it right now. But obviously before that's all done, we need to have a value proposition that we're 100% comfortable with in regards to executing. Not that's for next month. That's for 4 months from now.
Of course.
Because there's no point in saying, oh, I have this awesome idea and I want to execute this in the next month, but we already know that we're already stressed out with all the stuff we have going on.
Of course.
So my perspective in regards to the form would be that to have it set up via Gravity Forms on WordPress, and that's done. It's just a simple plugin. and that's done. Like I can do it in like maybe half an hour, but I need to know all the information that you guys are interested in, because I set up all the forms for the birthday parties, the wedding, for the haunted corn maze, for getting goat yoga information, for I can't remember all the forms off the top of my head, but I've set up all the forms via Gravity Forms in the website in a simple fashion, just like that, and just easy. But you need to know all the information just possible. So if Drove is working on it, I recommend that you say, "Hey Drove, I want you to talk to me about the form," and ask him when he's free. You can message me, sit down, do it, bam, done. That's my understanding of it.
Sure. Cool. What we were looking at is that we're gonna make the form. We're gonna give it to Raghav. He's gonna get everybody's contact information, and we're gonna go from there. But we can go both ways.
No, you can't go to Raghav first, because Raghav nor Drove have experience in creating forms. Zero.
We have 100% the forms that we see.
Sorry?
Like, we know exactly about the forms.
No, you guys don't have all the experience in regards to creating all the different areas of the form that you need. There's different reasons why you need some contact information from people who are doing different things on the farm, for any type of reason. For example, I've created forms of how to collect information of samosas, how many samosas to purchase, how they're going to pay for it, when they're going to pay for it, before or after, and then collected a deposit right away. Those things create steps online, and obviously if there's a word form, you don't want to have to get the information from somebody, then go back and get more information from that same person. Do you know what I mean? You want to get the information one time.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Of course.
Like, it wouldn't make sense to like, oh, sorry, hey, listen, we need this other information from you. Obviously, it would create more office work for us.
No problem. No problem. We have, from the examples that we've seen online, it's very simple to look at the 3 examples and honestly copy paste those examples, and you'd be perfect. But if you want to have input on those forms, 100% you should have input. Yeah.
If you guys want help, let me know. If you guys don't want help, let me know.
No, we need help for the online for sure. And then we'll be in touch for sure.
Good.
So that was my day today.
What's the plan for a goat yoga world record?
I'm not sure.
So are you supposed to have a meeting about that?
That was on June 22nd, right?
That's on June 22nd. We're supposed to have a meeting on it for Monday or Tuesday.
Saturday, right?
That's next Saturday, buddy.
Yeah, I wonder what I have going on that day.
Yeah, right.
The Chamber of Commerce is coming on the 21st.
Yep.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, a lot of work. A lot of shit ton of work. Why don't you talk about the Adiak meeting from your perspective, and let people know exactly why we were there, what was going on, what the point of us being there was, and what's the objective of us communicating this with any consumer here.
For sure. So Adiak, from my perspective specifically, we're having a meeting for the lounge endorsement. A lounge endorsement is a license that allows you to serve glasses of alcohol, of wine, and serve other alcohol, beer, spirits from local breweries, distilleries, or any other. You can make any other cocktails, and to serve food there as well, like just any restaurant food you could serve there. So that's what it allows you to have. So basically, you can create an atmosphere that's fun with our wine. 80% of the product that we sell in this lounge has to be NonFarm's product. That's specifically for the alcohol. So that's a lounge endorsement. Right now, all we have is a tasting room. The tasting room is super small. We can only serve so many customers at a time. So this would create a really good attraction for our farm in terms of consumers that don't usually go here. So that's the lounge endorsement that we're trying to get. The reason why we're going to the Adiak meeting was to get basically a vote passed for the specific members that are part of this group, so that it could be recommended to the council, so their superiors, that they are okay with this, so they want to go ahead with this. So we went to that meeting. Another establishment was there before us that was looking for the exact same license. They were super prepared, and they answered all the questions that we needed to be answered. And then we went up, and then because they got theirs passed, we pretty much got ours passed. not the complete reason why we got ours passed, but it would have been a little more difficult if they didn't go up first and we went up first.
It would have been the same thing. That she was just very well equipped in regards to answering the specific questions that had to do with like legislature.
100%.
What is this? What's it called? Not endorsement. What is this, like, certificate? No.
A lounge endorsement.
No, but there's different things. Oh, what is this accessory application that your accessory?
It's an accessory. It's like an amendment to your current.
Yeah. What is this? What is this current amendment to your? What does this amendment to your current license have to do with? And there's so many different amendments. There's a picnic amendment. Yes. There's a lounge endorsement one.
Yes.
There's the wine tasting. Oh, that's the manufacturing one. And then there's another one.
There's a special events endorsement.
Special events endorsement. That she was very well equipped with
explaining and
answering to, right? Yeah.
Because like this is very valuable because she could explain in layman terms.
She was really good at it.
Because like the people there that are voting, they didn't know much about that topic.
I don't think that they did. Oh, they actually did it because it was the first time that I was actually presented.
They didn't know much about it.
They didn't know anything about it.
Having that person there doing it first, like that was pretty beneficial.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. The other part, so that got passed, and we were super excited for that. We've been trying to get this lounge license for almost 3 years now.
It never got passed. It got
recommended.
Got the vote of recommendation 100%. By that committee, which the city looks for in regards to a reference. Of if they are approving this specific topic, the city is more inclined to look at this from a positive perspective.
100%.
Because it's a group of farmers looking at things which have to do with on ALR land that has to do with farming.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what the Adiak meeting was. So that's awesome. And then what else? What was the other point?
Well, we have been trying to get this lounge license for almost 3 years. So this is like the first improvement that I've seen in 3 years.
No, it's not.
Honestly, though,
you weren't a part of the first beginning. I did all the application for Brian. I wrote the entire application that you guys read. That Brian, you don't remember this, do you? I wrote the entire application that Brian wanted. You don't remember this, do you, at all?
What application are you talking about?
The application that you read, and Gurleen read, and then Mom and Dad read, that he sent. At the bottom, it said specifics in regards to where the lounge is going to be. What's the opening and closing hours? How far is it going to be from the current neighbors over there? What's the noise restrictions? Where's the east side and the west side? Where are you guys' gates that you're going to have be? Why do you think that we have that picnic area, the lounge, that patio side that we have now? It's because the lounge application at the same time was going to go into play. And I knew that we needed more space than we currently have to house people. And I was thinking about adding the fireplace to the far side. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Now you remember, right? So I'm the one that created all that.
I understand.
And then did the application. So it's not the first advancement. It's been going through the ringers. And because the city's been so backed up, they haven't pushed it. That's why I don't remember.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm on the same page. I understand.
Okay, good.
Okay, you put in the work to do that. But there's obviously more things we have to go through.
That's not the only thing that we've been doing over the past 3 years. There's so many different things in regards to the city that we've had to get past and we still don't have passed.
100%. There's so many things.
It's A to Z. But the second part that we need to explain is also the non-farm use of our agritourism offering that we have in the farm, which is completely has to do with on-farm education and providing people an opportunity to explore, feel, and taste what a farm life has and is all about in a controlled, safe, and differentiated setting. Because there's petting zoo, there's U-pick, there's so many different types of animals in the petting zoo. There's the tractors all within one area. There's the tire calls which have been recycled. There's just the fun that you can have, the pumpkin patch, everything has to do with agritourism. And the non-farm use was not for obviously the pumpkin patch or the raspberries or the strawberries or blueberries, which you can all do, but it had to do with more with the fun components, so such as the jumping pillow, the tire fort, and the the play fortress, which from a person's perspective of looking in saying, hey, listen, this is just a structure that you built on the farm, what's the point of having it? But when you look at it in a wholesome setting, it provides what would you call? It's needed. Yeah, it's needed to create a critical mass to provide people an overall opportunity to visit the farm because, like, I don't know who said it, but like, why would anybody go to a blueberry farm to go have fun, like a regular blueberry farm, where one of the people who were sitting on the Adiak boards was like, listen, I have...
Okay, go back.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about the attraction in the back, just like that, all that stuff. I understand, right?
I just mumbled the whole thing together. Is that what I said?
No, I don't think you didn't like put like a setting on it. Like you didn't like do the intro. You went to the body.
Oh, did I?
So you got to do the intro.
Whoa.
Like
Okay.
you got to explain why. Like this was part of the Adiak meeting as well, trying to get the non-farm use application done.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So before that, we had people on the farm that said, like from the city, that said this was approved, and then it went back.
Oh, I don't know. People don't need to know those details.
Sure, that's fine then.
Let's
So
get into like political standpoint. That's
let's get
little. That doesn't. We don't need to explain for anybody to see or put on record.
Sure, never mind then.
That needs to stay
Never
inside
mind.
closed doors.
Okay, anyways, so there's the bouncy pillow, paddle go-kart track, zip line, play fort. That's all in the back.
Yeah, let me continue. Now.
That was
Let me
considered
continue.
that was considered non-farm use.
Yeah, but so that
by
was
a political body.
Yeah, but I'm gonna explain exactly why it was, and then I'm gonna explain why it wasn't.
So this was an application that you filed for it to get approved.
No, I didn't file it. I didn't file it, nor did we think that we needed to file it, but that we were required to file it to say that it was not a part of an agriculture use. But reason why we were required to file it is by a federal body that exactly what you're saying, that deemed it a non-farm use.
Yeah.
Where it obviously is because of all the reasons I was explaining earlier. People who come to a farm come to have fun, but then are partake in all these other things that a farm has to do with, that I was explaining, that didn't have to do with this specific area of the farm, which actually makes up a really small part of the actual acreage. So, for example, the purchasing strawberries, doing U-Pick, going on educational tours of how we grow strawberries, trying the wine, because the wine is made from our local strawberries. Everything that has to do with mom making all the different food that we have that comes from our locally grown produce, right? So all those things are parts of what people enjoy while they visit the farm, and then around that, or it could be the center of it, is that people come here to have fun. But then they spend their money on all these different things that has to do with encouraging farming in our local community. And that was the number 2 reason why we went to this meeting, to go explain why this thing, which is agritourism, is important for us, it's important for future farmers, because it provides people the understanding of what farming is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It sensationalizes farming, which is not sensationalized in Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. So basically, one of the Adiak members that was voting basically said like this stood out to me. They said like their kid would rather go to our farm, pay money,
exactly,
whereas he's a farmer and the kid would not go to his farm.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah. And the other guy was talking about like the PETA thing.
Oh yeah, he's like, why does it? Do people even know where this food comes from?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. People don't even know. Like, potatoes are growing on the ground or whatever. They have no freaking clue. It's
ridiculous.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's nuts. So it's like, and then everybody agreed. I was like, yeah, I'm for it, because then they understand that regardless of this Adiak meeting having these consultation sessions to control what happens on our land, they have to have farmers producing and growing food in the coming generations. So the only way to do that
for the farmer.
Exactly. And the only way to do that is to make farming fun.
100%.
Because if farming is boring, no one's going to want to do it.
Yeah. A lot of people in our generation, because we are young farmers per se, are moving out of farming. Because
we are young farmers, for sure.
It's because it's not a fun thing to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas our parents' generation were all farmers. Now they're moving away.
Yeah.
Who's buying those farms? Bigger farms. The corn that you see on the side of the road that's already like 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, and it's in June.
What's the point of talking about that?
Why is corn so early, and why is some corn late?
You want to talk about why corn grows a certain way?
No, why is corn outside the ground right now? Like, is that normal?
Yeah, it's regular. Some corn will be ready in about 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, we plant corn, buddy. Sweet corn.
I went to a farmer's market once. I think it was in Ladner. Some lady came up to me. She's like, "This is from the States. You can't have corn this early," and she walked away.
That's because we grow it to be really, really early. That's fine if she walked away.
That's the disconnection
with consumers and what we're trying to educate right now.
Yes.
Well, the reason why some corn is obviously out of the ground is because they planted it in sometime in March, maybe even the first week of March. And corn usually takes about 70 growing days. Obviously, if you plant it early, it'll take longer because it's not. Oh, well, not obviously.
Can you plant corn in December and have it in February?
Listen, I'm trying to explain here. You keep interrupting. Okay. Corn grows based off the heat units. Heat units is an accumulation of how hot it has been. So let me try to explain this better. Every single corn variety, not every single one, but corn varieties, yes, if you get technical, every single corn variety has different types of heat units that it needs for it to mature and produce an ear of corn. So
if it's below if it's below the heat for long enough, it'll die.
No. Just listen. Okay. So if say one corn variety needs about 21,000 heat units, where the other one needs 26,000 units, the one that needs only 21 will mature quicker. So the varieties that farmers are using in regards to getting that corn early are varieties which have low heat units. So you should take that have registered for 60 to 70 mature days after germination for it to produce a cob of corn. And those are the ones that people plant as early as possible without the scare of the corn seed actually dying. Because we've actually planted corn so early that it's died. Because it gets too wet, it gets too cold, the corn seed's not hardy enough, and it dies off because of the cold, because maybe we'll have a frost after we planted it.
What's the earliest you planted corn?
I can't remember the dates, but never in February, but obviously the first week of March, second week of March we planted corn. I think we planted corn.
And then you would expect to have it in
9th?
June.
End of June. Pretty soon here we'll have corn. So it's just the way that it goes, and people have probably drove down the side of the roads. Still, you can see it in Yarrow or Sumas, where they've covered the corn with that white paper, or their fields are covering with white paper, and that's just a floating row cover that farmers apply over to keep heat inside that soil where the corn is growing, and that's super important for that corn to get more heat units. That's essentially why people do it, and many farmers are using that method. Some farmers are growing corn very late in the season when they think that nobody else will have corn, because then they'll have fresh corn.
Supply and demand.
That's exactly how it works. Corn is a big crapshoot. If you get into the time of the year where everybody else has corn, you're screwed. If you don't know how to grow corn correctly and your costs are way too high, which is really easy to do if you mix a pre-emerging day, if you miss a planting day, if you plant way too late, if your paper is ripped, if your paper doesn't come in on time, if your seed doesn't germinate. These small things can happen. Because for example, today somebody said that farming is like gambling. Because literally what we're doing is okay, put this in the ground, buy labor that comes, literally buy labor, because every single foreign worker that comes here, you're required to provide them 40 hours a week. Buy labor for the coming season, for next 4 months, and hope to God that you planting at this time, the paper being put on at this time, your pre-emergent spraying is being affected because the rain happened and it wasn't sunny enough, because when it's too sunny and you apply a pre-emergent spray, pre-emergent herbicide, meaning that you're stopping weeds to grow and only the corn will grow. You applying that pre-emergent spray and it's too sunny afterwards and you don't get a rainfall, the pre-emergent spray will not be effective because it needs water to get into the soil. What else? You having a good marketing strategy, you having good weather when it's time to pick, aphid population not being so high because the winter has been cold enough. These things is just like gambling, literally, because now you're basing your stuff on is weather. That's what farming comes down to.
Yeah.
Literally, A to Z. Don't get me started.
Put money in the dirt, take money out of the dirt.
Yeah, it takes money to make money, that's for sure. And when you're trying to cut costs in farming, it doesn't work out.
No.
That never works out. You can obviously figure out ways to be more efficient. You can use economies of scale to be more efficient. You can also use economies of, what's it called?
There's different economies.
Yeah, anyways, you can do a lot of different things. So that a farm which is an organic farm may not do an acre of each type of vegetable, may only do 4 or 5 rows of each vegetable, because they know that they are able to go out and farm those rows. But they maybe do 20 to 30 different types of vegetables, right? Where someone who has the use of synthetic pesticides may do more of one specific type because they know that they're able to control specific weeds that organic farmer is not able to control, right? Not to say that one is better or worse, because when you're an organic farmer, you're all of a sudden being more intensive. You have to do higher costs. You don't get as much as out of the land because you know that you're gonna lose more due to pests. But when you're conventional, you know that you're unable to provide many different types of varieties to your consumers. So there's ups and downs to all this, right?
Then you're gonna talk about sunflowers.
Sunflowers are just an IG event. It's just
the IG economy.
It's just people trying to look good and come out and take a picture of themselves in a sunflower field that they want to show off to their friends that they did something. That's literally all it is. That's just a real vain way of putting it, but literally people are just going to be going out and taking pictures in a field of something beautiful, which is really, of course, to appreciate the time and effort that it took to grow something on a piece of land, which is one, has been reclaimed from a gravel field. Two is obviously so beautiful in our local community that people really do appreciate, and that they've don't witness. Not every single person has the opportunity to go see a sunflower field, but then they go see in a local community that atmosphere is amazing, that you can grow so many different types of things and show off to their friends. And like showing off is like obviously kind of, what's it called? Not prestigious, precious. No. What's it called? Pretentious. you can use the word pretentious, I guess, at this point. But when you're doing that, you're also providing more attention to farming in the farming community, right? And that's a wholesome thing on its own, because farms such as ours, and Azure Tulip Festival, and Chilliwack Corn Maze, and Chilliwack Sunflower Festival are now using their farming practices and being more sustainable for their families and for their community, because then they're providing more jobs and more community awareness to agriculture and Abbotsford, bringing more tourism into play. That's why so many people want to feature us on their social media. Every day on social we get tagged by 2 or 3 people like, oh, I was here, or I was doing this, or like some company was using us, or like this is what's happening, because they know that what we do, people want to come and do, and that just brings more people into the location. I think about it all the time, day to day. Yeah, gotta be a better manager every day. Wake up early, get your shit done. I think what I'm gonna start doing every single night is like making a list of what I need to do for the next day, the night before. I usually do it in the morning, but I get so busy because either I'll get behind, or like what happens? Things happen which I'm not used to, right? Or like surprises come and happen. Like today, like we had some crazy stuff going on, so like these things happen, and I don't have a list of what to do next, and I get thrown off. And I can, like, from my perspective, I've done this in the past. If I plan like, okay, these are the next. If I know that my employees are doing this things tomorrow, and I know these are the goals I need to accomplish, I can still keep that in the back of my brain all the time, opposed to me making that list in the morning and taking away from my day of. And I don't think it would be taking me a long time to make a list. Maybe it will take me 15 minutes. Maybe initially it might take me half an hour, but it might later on maybe take 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. My favorite part of the day is when I'm here before anybody else, and I can spend an hour sitting down thinking about my day and just doing what I need to do.
That's your favorite part?
It's really nice.
My favorite part of the day is from 6 a.m. to about 2 a.m. before I have food, because I'm so coffee high.
No, I get it.
Every day I'm so coffee high, and just, time flies like that. And like around 2:30, 4 o'clock hits, I'm like, time for bed. But I'm like, oh, I still have 4 hours to go. Yeah, so then I have another cup of coffee, and I have food, and I just go.
Yeah, I feel like I just get more done when I'm up early.
Oh, 100%. Obviously.
Yeah. No, it's like you can get up late and work the same amount of hours, but you don't get the same amount done. Like, we're trying to do private labeling for wine. He finally set up meetings yesterday, but we've been doing that since he's been here. Like, he's been here for like 3 or 4 weeks, but he finally got everything set up.
What's the meetings he did set up?
Oh, he set up with businesses to get like the actual wine, get them to purchase the wine, have them private label it for them, and give it to their employees and give it to them, their customers.
Dude, this is so easy to do. It's so easy to do. Oh my goodness.
Why are you getting salty? Explain.
I'm not getting salty.
Explain.
I'm not getting salty. I'm getting emotionally invested, which maybe I can just step out of because I wasn't even a part of the conversation, and that's not my fault or not your fault. I'm just being empathetic to the situation. Essentially, how the best way to get this across is through B2B marketing, because all you're trying to do is get business clients, right? And where do business clients live? Where do they live?
Where do they live?
I'm asking you a question. Where do business clients live? Where do they live?
Here.
No, they live on LinkedIn.
Oh wow, wow. They live there?
Do they not, or do they?
What's LinkedIn?
You know exactly what LinkedIn is. I freaking hate you. I don't think that any of our competitors, as I was listening, where it just got beeped out, have been a part of, or are a part of LinkedIn at all. I don't think. I don't know.
Sure.
I haven't checked.
Sure.
I haven't dedicated any time towards it. I think about it all the time to sit there half an hour when I'm in bed to do it.
Yeah.
But I just don't because I'm freaking tired.
Yeah.
Maybe I should listen to more Gary Vee. He'll get me hyped up. But like I just don't. But I think that it would be so easy to create a few videos, how to do with this type of marketing, get that consumer to be interested in that video, click learn more, go to that forum, enter the information, put an order in based off of the timings which you are comfortable with of executing on. Easy money, easy. And the first order that you could put in would be for Christmas. And he has to. There's no cold calls needed. There's no direct mail. There's no brochures. All you need to do is set up a form, figure out what your value proposition is, and put it onto a video that people are able to consume.
Sure.
That's it. And make 16 or 17 different types of videos about the same topic.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure. Yeah, so last year we did a couple of these things, the B2B things. We visited one of our previous accounts that it turns out they had a really good experience with their thing. The one thing that they wish they did differently was that their labels were specific to one season.
Can you hold on a second?
What?
I want to have a meeting to understand every single thing that everybody wants to do with marketing, have a big brainstorm session, put it all on a piece of paper, and I know how to figure it out now. It just came to me.
How do you figure it out?
I already know.
Podcast?
The hell? If we figure out all the things that we want to accomplish, and I know how to get the right people into the place of how to accomplish them, like you want to do this for LinkedIn, if Glee wants to do this for goat yoga, mom wants to do this for school tours, dad wants to do this for I don't know, he always wants to sell wine more in I don't know, or different areas of the world. And what we can do is we can set up contracts, right, or job contracts, and hire people for those specific projects, and D can be the manager for it. And I can just manage D. That's so easy because D can mitigate with them exactly what kind of content we need to create, and that can get done. That's how you create a marketing team. And then you know what? I don't have to put them on freaking timely basis. I can put them on contract basis. We can say the budget for this is only $400. We can say if something is really valuable, it's only $4,000. That's the smartest thing to do. Jeez, I'm so smart. It comes after a long time of doing things yourself and then understanding you're hitting your head against the wall and saying, shit, how can I figure out how to manage all these things?
That's why your head's so freaking dented, right?
Alright guys, we just finished watching the win by Toronto Raptors with Golden State Warriors and the final game and represent Canada, but I don't know, I just feel like the underdog should win. So thank you guys for listening to another episode. MFers, The Modern Farmer by Man Farms. And we are very happy that you guys are here. Thank you for watching. My name was Amir.
My name is Guarav.